me, and then there's an alter ego. I'm just a person that like walks around and does whatever, but there's a person that, I mean, you could say the same thing when we're on stage with just like people like completely different. Like, I want to talk about what bothers me and what's on my mind and the shit that's plaguing me on an everyday basis, and just stuff that is like up in my face every fucking day. So the best way I can do it is flip it. We got the music behind it. When the music's right and the lyrics are right, the song is just gonna be off the hook. And people could just be like, yeah, I knew what you were talking about there. I was feeling exactly what you're saying. I've been there before. And then when you're just up there and people can relate to you, it's just like a whole different world. I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't even care about getting paid. Like, when we play, I want someone, man, my payment is watching some dude leave with a fucking busted ass face and the blood and shit like that, because that's when you know people had a good time. If they're spin kicking each other and punching and just going crazy, the crowd bashing the whole shit, that's my payment. I don't even want money after that.
We got money. The only thing we use it is for is like merchandise or any CD.
To make and then give away for free anyway. Like, man, it's not about. I mean, like,
we've lost hundreds. Yeah, we don't see hundreds of dollars. Just we don't care about money.
The last time we actually saw money was when we were like, okay, here's money from the show, go make more shirts, or here's money from the show, give it to Allie's going to Staples to go get CD covers. Like, it's all about giving back. Now we kind of moved aggravation to like push us to do it that much more. That's why the CDs are going out for free. That's why we don't even give a shit. We're like, yo, to the person who dances the hardest gets a fucking shirt and a CD and my shoe and all kinds of crap. I don't even give a fuck no more, man. I just want people to enjoy the shit.
I sat in my room for a whole week burning fucking CDs. Like, I was so just stuck there on a computer, fucking sitting there, just burning CDs, because I would see people in the street. If I heard them playing some like heavy shit, yo, check us out, man.
I met Mark, the singer of Super Touch. I met him. We went to the same high school, and I was just a young, goofy metalhead, like 12, 13 years old. And he had been listening to punk and hardcore for quite some time. And we just started hanging out. He started making tapes for me. The first live show I did was in '86, like August of '86 in Albany, New York. A friend of ours named Dave Stein used to book shows in Albany. And that show, we opened for Youth of Today and 7 Seconds. So it was in a VFW hall, and there were a lot of people there, about 500 kids. So it was pretty exciting. When I got into hardcore when I was very, very young, around the age of 13, 14, before that, as I said, I was just a dumb, goofy metalhead that listened only to metal. That's all I listened to. I wouldn't give anything else a chance, and just hardcore just opened me up to a completely different style of music, which was just as powerful as metal. But with hardcore, it was okay to be into metal as well and listen to rock. And I started listening to The Who, and I started listening to blues. And that's just what hardcore did for me. It completely opened me up. It was life-changing. Actually broke up 3 times. As I said, it broke up first in '91. That's how we lost our first drummer, Andy. He left in '91. We got it back together by '92. By spring of '93, we broke up again. We had a really bad U.S. tour. We had a bass player who had gotten arrested. Mark, our singer, got sick on that tour. And the band that time just fell apart. We were just completely frustrated with it and just said, yeah, to hell with this. This is just not fun anymore. And around summer of '95, my friend Rich and Mark contacted me saying, let's just try this again. Let's try and have fun doing this again. So we got it back, and it just didn't even last a year from like summer of '95. It didn't even last to the summer of '96. All the same arguments came back. Mark and I just didn't agree really on anything, just the music or the writing, the way the band should conduct itself, where we should play, what we should do, when we should go on tour. So it just seemed pretty silly to stay together. Let's just end this and go our separate ways. We'd be a lot happier.
Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba, te necesito una poca de gracia pa' mi pastilla. Y arriba, por arriba y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Yo no soy marinero, yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Bamba, 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 bamba. Para llegar al cielo se necesita una...
Punk/hardcore.
Just like the sickers say.
Yeah, there's no other way around it. We like both. We like melodies of punk and we like hard breakdowns of hardcore. I mean, there's no reason that anyone who's even playing music should have to stick to one style. It's just music and it should be fun, and that's what we like.
If it wasn't for music, I hate to say it, but I'd be dead right now. Because music's the only thing that's really kept me alive. I was going through a lot of bullshit like 6 or 7 years ago, and I picked up a guitar, and ever since then I've had reason to live, really. I mean, it's always been a love of mine.
This gives me a lot of positive output for a lot of stuff that got bubbling up inside. Get up on stage, getting up on stage at the end of the week, and just going absolutely berserk. Step off the stage and sopping, soaking, sweaty mess. It's just true. It's a good thing. Because otherwise, I'd just be bored out of my skull.
I usually write about stuff that affects me personally, I guess, affects the world. Like, I like to write a lot of stuff about the earth and how people don't seem to really care as much as they should about the stuff we're doing. I mean, you got a guy changing his oil who throws the oil down, the grate at the corner and doesn't think nothing of it. But if everyone around them keeps doing it and we keep doing it, we keep polluting the oceans, it's just going to ruin the earth. Or if anything, it's going to change the earth, and it's certainly not going to change it to our advantage. So I try to address stuff like that, not so much to tell people they're right or wrong. I address a lot of stuff about animal rights, and I never tell someone that because they don't believe what I believe they're wrong.
To make people aware.
Yeah, I just want to make people aware and let them know that, look, this is what goes on, and maybe it'll change your mind a little bit about stuff. I understand I'm in a Jersey band, a punk hardcore band, and I'm not going to be able to change the world, but at least if you can maybe make people think that hear you, because a lot of kids do listen to the lyrics and they really want to hear what you have to say, and they'll, if they look up to you, they might actually listen a little bit closer and take some of your stuff to heart. So it's a pretty good forum to be able to at least reach people and try to make a difference. That's basically what I try to do.
And now something changed.
a hobby. Like I had like just, I don't know, just like a box with the CDs. I used to bring the shows and everything. And pretty much it just built from there. I did, so like I said, I would hit like 4 or 5 shows a week, and I would just sell CDs. And the more CDs I would sell, the more CDs I would buy. And just in turn, it just grew into what it did. I'm all over Jersey, PA, New York. I go up to Connecticut. If I hit the fest, I mean like the Crazy Fest, Hell Fest, and just stuff like that, really. I hit the bands straight up at shows and stuff. They come to me. I just go to random distributors. I buy straight from the labels, stuff like that. Just pretty much like any like record store would do, pretty much. You know, I'm pretty much like a record store just doesn't pay rent.
You can't really read my lyrics, I don't think. I mean, I can't because I wrote them, but I don't think other people really read my lyrics and know exactly what I'm talking about. But I try not to be too direct. That way people can, like, that way it is kind of like open to interpretation. People can, like, relate it to themselves if they want.
Yeah, I guess you could just vent, you know? Like, you have a fucking shitty week, working school, fighting with your girlfriend, you go to a show on Saturday.
Girlfriend's money.
You see all your friends, and you dance fucking hard, and there's no fights, really. Try not to. And you just get all like the fucking energy out, you fucking sing along to any band you fucking want, grab the mic, it's like it's yours, you know? It's fucking very therapeutic. And I'd fucking kill myself if it wasn't. Well, I wouldn't do that, but
I wouldn't do that.
I'd like fucking snap a little bit.
I'd punch myself a little bit.
It's like an escape from your everyday life, you know?
It's kind of a catharsis, I guess, going to shows. If I didn't go to shows, I probably would have killed somebody due to road rage by now or something. So,
What is catharsis?
I mean, it's like self-healing.
Wow. I thought it was just like a metal band.
That's deep. That's deep, dude.
Somewhere where it's like, you know, like a weird type culture where like anyone that's not into like hardcore, if they see it, it's like, what is this?
Yeah, and you can't really, it's hard to like explain. Like a lot of my friends will ask me like, you know, what is it? And like I'll bring them to shows and stuff to check it out. And they kind of get the feeling of it. I don't know, it's just, I get like no better feeling than like jumping on stage with one of my favorite bands, just like singing along.
Well, we just put out a split CD we recorded in Ask, Belgium.
Ask. Yeah, that's the name of the town.
Ask. It's Awesome Born from Pain.
No.
It's 3 new Redline songs and 3 Born from Pain songs. It's called Swift, Silent, Deadly.
I recorded those vocals right in the middle of tour. It was like the 9th day in a row I was singing.
5 minutes after you woke up, too.
Yeah, they woke me up. Come on, you gotta do your vocals, and like, my throat was really, really ripped up to shreds. And when I did that, so I think it kind of sounds like that, which I wasn't sure if we weren't sure if we liked that or not.
Yeah, but it grew on me. I really like it now.
Yeah, the kids have been saying that it sounds like a lot more brutal. I'm like, dude, it was just sick, man. What are you trying to say? The kids like it. I'm surprised because at first I'm like, yo, this shit's whack. But
So if we're not on tour next time we record, I'm just gonna take a razor blade to my throat.
Yeah, make it sound good.
We slept at the studio. And we were really bored. So we were walking home from pizza, and we kept saying how we were gonna tip these cows across the street from the studio when we got back. We're like, oh, we're gonna tip these cows. We're gonna video record it. It's gonna be funny.
So there's cows across the street.
And yeah, we get there. We're about to go across the street and tip the cows. We're like, oh, Kenny doesn't have his camera. It's all the way upstairs. Last minute, we're like, oh, fuck it.
It's
never mind.
dark.
We were talking about it the next day. We found out the guy's like, those aren't cows. Those are bulls.
Yeah, we were gonna go bolt it.
So we came this close to dying on tour.
Yeah, we got like a fucking horn up our ass.
basically my dad's part of the American Legion, so I get, pretty much a discount price. Started out, we were doing benefits for Dover Boxing Club, and, it was a good opportunity to get local bands showcased. Like just local bands and like one headlining like national act. We collect canned food, so we feed the homeless at the same time. And we give the band some money, gas money, whatever, however many heads they pull in. It's just a good time. It's a good way to promote all the local bands that aren't getting much attention.
Well, basically, I think right now in New Jersey, some of the people that do shows or, shows but are really just like big concerts, maybe they do a good job, but in the sense of like as a concert promoter, and they don't really have like DIY ethics. I don't know, it's kind of sad, like when you go to a club and you have to worry about like bouncers that are working there from like hitting you over the head, or like not allowed to pass out flyers, or just like fucking bullshit like that you really shouldn't expect in like a supposed scene or community that we have. And it's just like, I don't know, like I'd rather have people doing things the way that I think that they always should be done. Like everyone just coming together and helping out, and not like making it a big corporate business competition. And just looking around New Jersey, I'm not gonna name any places, but that's what it seems like. A lot of people just care about making money off hardcore. It's pretty sad.
Basically a bunch of my friends and I were in a band called Elias. We've been jamming out here for months. We jam out here all the time, 3 times a week. And basically this is our first show, and we just wanted it to be a special show. And we got a couple bands together, and unfortunately that tragedy happened a couple weeks ago with the Trade Center, so we thought that would be appropriate to have a show that would go towards the Red Cross. So we made a box, my singer Bruce made a box right here, and people who feel like donating any money could just put this in the box, and it goes towards the Red Cross Fund that's at one of the local banks around this town. It's just a really good time, and the show's free. It's just all about the music,
So many kids do shows in Jersey and they don't advertise. That's the reason why a lot of shows, like, there's really poor turnouts, because I hit so many shows during the week. I've been to so many shows where literally there's nobody there, and then come to find out like the kids just don't flyer and stuff like that. And like for this show here, I ran off 2,000 flyers for this show, and they were literally all over Jersey, PA, New York, all over the internet and everything. And that's just one thing where just like really kids don't do, and I wish they would, because that's the reason why a lot of kids just don't come out to shows.
As far as the local bars around here, you're lucky to find 1 out of 5 that'll do a hardcore show, because they feel that there's no money in it. They feel that there's, you hear hardcore, you might assume right away that, oh, well, there's going to be young underage kids, there might be fights, there might be underage drinking, this and that. A lot of the bands around this area, such as locals or even mediocre / somewhat signed bands, have nowhere to play around here. So I said, the hell with it, why not we do something over here in the local scene? The one that really sticks out the most lately was the hardcore booze cruise that we did with the Paddle Wheel Queen. I think that was just a boat show in itself. We were lucky enough to find that boat in time before, September 11th went down. When everything was still fun, stable, and we didn't have to worry about terrorism.
It's my first show. I'm doing this benefit for the victims of World Trade Center, and I figured I'd try to help some people out, even help out younger bands, so they're getting exposure through this too. So far it's turned out pretty good.
We might have it.
Alright, that wasn't too bad.
Of frustration. Now, guys, I welcome you. Okay.
Hi. Thank you.
What I want to do is kind of go down the line here with all your names. Okay. So let's kind of start here. Okay. Now I know you people at home can't see where here is, but it doesn't matter. So we're gonna start here, and you could like go ahead and say your name.
I'm Joe. I sing.
All right. Hello.
I'm Chris. I play guitar.
Is that lead guitar, Chris?
That's one
sure.
guitar.
It's one guitar.
Yeah, that's right.
That works for me. All right, let's go down the line.
Come on, Steve. So my name is Steve and I dance. My name's Mark, and I play glockenspiel.
Beautiful. Well, I have to ask something. Your name again? I'm sorry.
Steve.
Steve. Just a quick question for you. Is it in a cage? Because I was in here when you guys were performing.
Speedos.
It's in Speedos in a cage. Yeah, I love that stuff. All right, let's keep going down.
I'm Joe, I play drums.
All right.
Chris and I play bass.
So that's Lidstrom over here. What hardcore means to you?
Alright, hardcore means to me just like a lot like unity and brotherhood with all like your friends, and like just going nuts to like real good like hardcore music, and like, it's also just like a scene and stuff like that, like in a good positive message. That's all it means to me.
What about you, Joe?
I think it has like more to say than most stuff that's out there now. It has like a message to put across.
As far as the message, or like, I guess it's just like my view of the world around me, I guess, and I think a lot of people have the same view. You know, it's a confusing time right now to be, involved in society. We're living in a strange transitional period, and it reflects me as like an individual. We got really thrown into a political thing because we had the American flag up, and I wrote some lyrics that were like pro-American and nationalist. That's the way people took it. Basically, I think if you take all the songs together, you look at the lyrics, it's a lot less political and more like an individual's view, like, of the world around them. I think that's why a lot of people like the songs and sang along to the lyrics, because I think as a person, being alive and part of this generation, you can relate to it. The reason we stopped playing is because it just seemed like all the guys in the band seemed to lose interest because we had so many problems with guitar players. Chris, our bass player, he left to play in another band because he wants to do a full-time band where they tour and that sort of thing, and we're not able to do that because we work and that sort of thing. I do think about the band because I do miss playing. You do notice when you don't have something like that anymore. It's kind of like losing a girlfriend. There's a void that's not being filled now. There's no rehearsals on the weekends. There's no shows. It's just like going to work and coming home. But you know, like I do think like, you know, back, you know, and I was looking at the videos that I'm gonna give you, and I'm like, you know, I do miss it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of bullshit in the scene that I don't like. You know, it's real like second grade, you know, real second grade mentality out there. You know, as far as dressing a certain way or talking a certain way or who knows who. I don't really care about stuff like that, but I just miss the actual playing. I miss rehearsing. I enjoy rehearsing. You know, I enjoy recording. I enjoy being in a band. But yeah, I definitely notice it now that it's not around. I do miss it.
You just heard Converge with Homewrecker. Before that was God Forbid with Wicked. Diecast, One for One, double shot of Unsound, Every Time I Die, Shady. So this is the Mike and Matt show. My co-host Matt isn't here today, but we usually play a mix of ska, punk, and hardcore. Today I'm leaning more towards the hardcore stuff. I used to have a hardcore show of my own, but we kind of combined our two shows together. We're trying to do something with the internet. We definitely want the internet, but it's like we have problems with our budget. We don't really get a lot of money. Like we're not really that kind of a powerful station. We don't do corporate sponsorships or anything. So all the money, this station's run by the students. So we get barely any kind of financial help. If a band wants to send in a CD, you just send it to the WMSC at Montclair State University, and we'll just we'll review it and we'll play it. 973-655-4256 is the number. Keep listening.
Hey North Jersey, what's going on? And listen to the Outcast Society here on WPSC-FM 88.7 in Wayne, North Jersey's independent radio. You guys just heard 25 to Life off the album Friendship, Loyalty, and Commitment. That was Wise.
My show, which is currently on Thursday nights, what I try to do is I try to mix industrial, hardcore, punk, oi, death metal, all different genres of loud rock together into a 3-hour show. This way people out there can open up their minds and see the different bands that are out there in the loud rock scene. And I try to also too play songs that you really wouldn't hear on any commercial radio station. I try to pick like the B-sides, or try to go to like the later numbers in the CD.
W-S-O-U!
New CD out on Trustkill, coming very soon, tomorrow. It's called Nothing in Vain. And why don't you guys introduce yourselves, say what you play, and then we'll start chatting away.
What's up, Justin? I play guitar.
I'm Rachel, I play guitar.
I'm Matt, I play bass. Sean, I play drums.
I'm Tom, and I
sing. Sorry. Ever since I've listened to the show from since the show started, and I always heard a lot of old school and stuff. And then I started hearing a lot more Victory bands and a lot more bands that like were just like being played on regular rotation. So when I took over the show, I decided to try to play some of the more local bands, more of the lesser known bands, and try to mix it up with some of the old school and some of the metalcore bands and some of the like the tough guy bands or whatever that have been going on in the scene.
It's cool to have songs that are like really personal, so when you play them, it's like every time you play them, it's like it's a release, you know. It's not like just going through the motions, you know, like you're singing the lyrics and just playing the song, you remember exactly how you felt when you wrote it, you know, so it's cool to be able to recreate that feeling every time you play the song.
Well, as of 2 or 3 months ago, the university decided that they want to change the format of WSOU because it does not comply with the university mission statement. They say that they cannot support a music that degrades or degregates anybody of ethnic or sexuality and all that. And they basically told us that we have to change our format, and they gave us till January 1st to find a new format and change it to that. Being that you guys are from the New York City area, Brooklyn and whatnot, how you guys have been affected with all the tragedies and all the things that are going on right now? Have you changed your lives, or have you been able to go on?
Well, we were lucky just to, none of us really had any family or anything that were involved in it, but I mean, the more time that the more time there is, like we realize how many people actually were affected by it that we actually know. You know what I mean? Like the first week or two afterwards, you don't realize, Yeah. And then like this past weekend, we buried a firefighter that lived up the block from me for 30 years. You know what I mean? Like for his whole life. You know, he was one of the first, one in the first engine that was there or whatever. Right. You know, and you don't realize, how many people you actually do know. You know, it's heartbreaking.
I think it's a thing. I was on the Brooklyn Bridge going to work when the second plane hit, and it's like something I'll never forget. It's kind of like our parents, like they remember like where they were when JFK was shot or something. Like this is something that'll be like you'll never forget. You know what I mean? Like where you were when it happened.
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy.
I work at the medical examiner's office, so I've actually seen, like, I've been there for so many of the bodies coming in, and now with this plane crash today, then it's been the craziest experience I've ever had working there, to see all this stuff, because most people, like, never see this in their entire lives, and now it's like the second disaster that we've had to deal with.
Yeah.
And just seeing what happens to people, it's just terrible to think about it and stuff.
But on the flip side, it's amazing to see like the humanity, the kindness in people. You know, like living in New York City, like everyone's so rude and everything. But one of the first few days after it happened, I had gone down to the Jacob Javits Center to like somehow volunteer for anything, and there were thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah, it seems like this has brought everyone together.
Which is it's sad that it had to happen that way, but
right.
It really made a profound effect on everyone.
We've been trying to fight it wholeheartedly with petitions, things through the internet, trying to get internet industry people to go through with it. MTV actually did a new spot on us, and there's just a whole effort going to save the format. But we've basically been told by the administration that there's no chance in hell that we can save our format.
So we got more CDs to give away. We'll give away 2 more. So like pick 2 numbers for the giveaway. Like
you guys want? No,
15.
7. 15 and 7. All right. So color number 7 and 15. Look at the new most precious. Let's see. But right now we're gonna hit track 10. Heroes and Conspiracies on SOU Hardcore Reality.
You said color like
I also play in a band that's called December Aternalis.
With the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver, the Lone Ranger.
Yes. Hi. If you guys play, all right. Keep it toned down.
You want me to turn it off?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
You can go. I can go on record. Show me your teeth.
Are you a hockey player?
Yes, a
Oh.
goalie.
Nice. And the no mask days.
Just humor.
You will edit that out.
Of course.
The four of us have been playing like just guitar, bass, and drums for like 5 years or whatever, like straight. So I mean, at this point, it's like, you know, you play together for 5 years, and we're like all best friends too. It's not like we're just come here and practice and then go home and like not talk to each other until next week. It's like we, you know each other too well, and it's like cool to 5 years progress or whatever, and just to get to know people on like a musical level, creative level too, and you just like, you know, you can vibe with somebody like that. It's like, it's a much different.
We don't sit down and try to think where the song is going to go, or we're going to write a hard song, or we're going to do this or do that, or have any formula. It's like however we're feeling at that particular moment, and we put it together. And then, sometimes in the next week we might, you know, have another different feel to add to the song, and, you know, a different vibe that we're getting when we're playing together. If we had a good day and we're happy, or pissed, or whatever it is, we just come together and write it.
We don't just want to write like a basic, like a somewhat generic part or something that we've heard a trillion times listening to like hardcore music. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not, just because it's hardcore doesn't mean that it just has to involve like a certain, you know, generic style or something like that. Like if it's like a quick two-step, or if it's like a chug breakdown, it's like, okay, it's like there's got to be more to younger like human expression than just that, you know, on a hardcore level too, on like a local underground music, you know, scene or whatever. You know, you want people to be themselves, and that's all we're doing. We're just trying to be ourselves.
Just me, I'm like always in my own world. Like, I just think about stuff that bother me during the day, or stuff that just happen, you know, everyday
like,
stuff. Stuff that maybe some people can relate to, some people can't relate to. You know, it's just.
And plus, we want to come across, like, at least when you see us live, like, it's cool to see a band and like be into the music and all, but like, want to come across as people who like really give a shit and actually feel like music.
Yeah. Like, when I write, I just grab a piece of paper, and whatever comes to my mind I write down, and I sift through other lyrics, cut and paste a lot. I'm not real political, and I'm not trying to get a certain point across. The more abstract and dealing with like the subconscious mind.
Joe, bass Joe over here with the glasses, he
chipped his own tooth.
Yeah, he broke his face a couple times. He broke his face once, and he broke, actually, when we were going through singer changes, we were playing a show in Pennsylvania, and during our intro, like the first 2 minutes, like Joe whacked his bass over our fill-in singer's head and just cracked the headstock like right off the bass. And the kid kept on going, wiped it off, and like kept going.
Halfway through the last song of one of our sets, he smashed his bass over his head. Blood everywhere. He kept on going.
Yeah.
We took him to the hospital afterwards, and it was 3 stitches.
Yeah.
There's loads of people. We can give you loads of list of people that have helped us out since day one, and that's like the amazing thing, you know, is people you still talk to, still people you still hang out with. And it sucks a lot of times, you know. No one respects or no one remembers some of the stuff that these people did, putting on shows, you know, booking shows, losing money to rent out a VFW hall so your band and a couple friends' bands could play for 12 people. But you know what? Those are some of the best times we've had.
Warren's a tough motherfucker. Get another rag. You gotta wipe this blood up.
Well, it started in Intense Energy here, 1998, a little bit over 3 years ago. Started because I needed to do something for myself, needed to make a place I wish I had to go to when I was 15, you know. It's definitely turned into that with the support of the skaters and bikers that helped make this place happen. It's getting a real good name for itself. The local parents know that their kids are here, that they're safe, they're not doing anything stupid, they're watching videos. Wish the local cops had that same mentality, but that's an ongoing battle with a place like this, you know. I got a soft spot for these kids. I really don't charge them what I should. They don't realize what it's like to try and keep a place like this in business, but I didn't start it for the money. I didn't get into it to get rich, you know. I got into it for a sense of being part of maybe helping some kids not make the same mistakes I did and kind of keep them on the right path.
every set of lyrics has its own specific meaning, but that's my meaning. I try to phrase things so that, hey, you know, you don't have the same problems as me, but, you know, apply it to what you have. You know, apply it to what's going on in your life and use it to better yourself. I mean, every song is different. Every song has its own message. But at the same time, they have 5 different messages. So everyone perceives things and reads things differently.
I feel that that's actually what hardcore is.
Yeah.
The second is just a guy screaming bullshit. It's black metal. You know, the one thing I want to say is that when I got involved in this band, I did my own thing. I always do my own thing. I don't get tattoos for nobody. I don't get piercings for nobody. I don't need that to be hardcore. I write angry music. I play angry music. I'm in an angry band. I'm angry. I got shit to say.
Everything we do has...
That is what hardcore
Everything
is
we do comes with feeling. There's feeling behind every second of music. With every note, every syllable.
But the most important thing is that you make friends. Takato, come here.
Top 9!
This motherfucker, he came all the way from Japan to come see us.
Say hello, talk.
We became friends with somebody from Japan. That's what hardcore is about. I think that's a product of MTV, the radio, marketing. I think that human beings love to label things. They love to separate things to make them easy to digest. The second something is out of the box, people don't know what to do with it. And you know what? A lot of the bands I listened to back in the day had totally different styles, totally different attitudes, but they all had one thing in common. They were people united to have fun. And that's one thing I think that is lacking in hardcore today. I think it's become another commodity. I don't think it won't be long before you see it on MTV, before you see little clown kids in suburbia dancing around without no history, no knowledge of what's going on, just like they did with grunge, just like they did with everything. You especially, and me, we're old enough to know what it was like back in the day to go to a show, see maybe 50, 60 people who went there because they were just angry and they wanted to release something rather than go on the street and beat someone up. Today, you got suburban kids coming in with their mommy's equipment, their mommy dropping them off at the show, and then they want to run their mouth about what's this and what's that. You know, you got to go through hard times in life before you know what the deal is. And if you're 16 years old, no offense, you don't know much unless you're living on the streets.
And I think, seriously, it's good that the scene is expanding. It's just you have to know why you're into it. You can't just be into it because everybody else is wearing baggy pants and band shirts. What drove me was like the fire that I felt from hearing the songs. And I don't see that. I don't see that same fire in the kids' eyes anymore. I actually saw it in the kids' eyes tonight. We try to get in there and we try to really tap into the shit with kids. Because you know what? They come up to us and they start talking to us, and you know what? I talk to them the whole freaking time. You know, I'm not just here to look cool. Just doing my thing, expressing my feelings.
think the masses are sheep. I think not enough people think for themselves. And I tell you what, look at what's going around you with the politics, what's going on in the world, and you know, you really have to decide whether you're going to live in your own fantasy world, waking up, going to work, hanging out with your friends, talking shit about the person down the street, or whether or not you're going to do something to create a better environment around you. There's a lot of poor people, there's a lot of people suffering, and I think that Americans are spoiled. 911 taught us all that. Now you can't walk out of the house without something fucked up possibly happening to you. And you know what? It's time maybe that Americans and people all together just come together and worry about what's going on in front of them, rather than what's going on in their own little personal fantasy world. Because you're nothing without the government. You're nothing without the structure that keeps everything peaceful. Support your military.
Are you fucking scumbags?
The video totally sucks. I mean, who the fuck is paying to see any of this shit? And like, how many people come when you play those bands or those whatever kind of music you play? If you're lucky, 5 people show up, and then if they do, you have 5 people. They got lost off the street. This really sucks. Look at this. Take a look. No girls, just guys. I mean, that alone, right there, something's wrong. They take a weekend off to do that kind of stupid shit. There's like mental fucking patients. They're all nuts. Every fucking one of them. 99.9% of those kids dancing or running around have some kind of a fucking problem. Believe me. One kid's punching the air. There ain't nobody there. That's dancing? You gotta be out of your fucking mind. This kid's screaming. I don't know what the fuck. He's sick. He's definitely sick. The worst part, they're not even on drugs, I don't think. They're just plain nuts. I don't know really what you expect me to say about a bunch of assholes. Look at the kid banging his fucking guitar. He's hitting it like he did something to him. Mark, these kids are sick. You're taking a picture of a bunch of mental fucking kids. And they're not even going to read a fucking note. That's the best part. They play shit. You ask them to play it again, the same thing. They couldn't do it. They don't know what the hell they're doing. One kid's fighting that lady, punching the ear. Sick, very sick. Another kid falling into him. Another kid accidentally almost lost his teeth. Another kid now is falling down on his ass. Maybe they are drunk. Who the hell knows? Mark, this thing sucks. Take my word for it. Get out of it. Find another hobby. Find some broads. Look at that. Like he didn't break his back. Guy jumped off the stage, did a flip. The music sucks. No lyrics, no nothing. Look. Guy's gonna do a swan dive. They should all move out of the way so he falls on his head. Serious when I tell you that these kids have a mental problem. Take my word for it. It's not what they're doing is not normal. I'm being honest with you. If you think that's normal, well, kiss my ass. They're stupid. They're jerky. They want to break their head. Join the football team. They're probably scared shit to do that, though. These guys, none of these guys have a voice. That's the worst part. Not one of them can sing. You know, that reminds me of remember Manson, Charlie Manson? So many people followed him. That's because out of all the places he went, you're going to find that many nuts. But look at these kids. There's so many of them, which means... No, I bet you none of those kids has good grades or anything. They're all stupid. Jerks. Diving, hurting each other. Don't even know they're hurting somebody. With those fucking pants that I don't know where they found them. They had to run those guys, those pants down to their ankles, that the crotch comes down there, you know, like the... How do you run? But I'm shocked. You got a master's degree. You went to a fucking college, cost a fortune. You were Phi Beta Kappa. You're smart, and you fall for this shit. You can't be stupid. College must be really fucking stupid. I guess an idiot can go through college today. You know what's his name? Terry Bradshaw was on a commercial where he's playing all stupid shit. He's sounding better, and he can't play to save his ass. In a ring, they'd last about 2 seconds. They'd last about as long as it takes to get to the center of the ring. That's how long they'd last. I kicked the shit out of all of them. Let's get a bunch of fruity fags. Tattooed jerk-offs, assholes. Well, look, they're wimps, all of them. Somebody's gonna get knocked out. Hey, Mark, I can't say no more. I don't know what more to comment on that. Stupid. Just totally stupid. Fat, ugly, out-of-shape fucking guys. Skinny wimpies. I mean, everything. Nobody's in shape with that whole crew. I'm not funny. These guys are not funny. These guys dancing. They're wacko. They're sick. And you took psychology, all that shit. You don't realize that some of these kids are sick? What do you think? You think these kids are normal? Do you really believe these kids are normal? You're full of shit. You know, you're a wacko yourself, I think. Maybe you had some broads dancing. I don't mind. Don't look too bad. Guys, what the fuck is the matter? Are they gay, all these guys? This kid just banging, making noise. You know he's playing. But I don't know A from F. I don't know. I'd rather you jerk off than do that shit. Yeah, you're not gotta be on a fucking corner. You're fucking demented, fucking nuts who should be put in a cage. All those kids need help. Every fucking one of them. You know where you're going with this? You're not even going down the street with it. Not even down a corner. You're wasting your fucking time and your money. You don't know what to do with your money, put it in my drawer upstairs. And everyone's probably a loser that you see there. I bet you there's not one person there that's got a decent job or is anything. You think? That's the next generation. Oh my God. One of those guys could be the fucking president. Oh shit. I'm in trouble. What the fuck could you say? They're jerks. What can you say about those stupid fucking assholes? They'll never go anywhere, they'll never be anything. You're looking at a lot of shit. Bunch of fucking assholes. If I saw anybody paid to see that shit, should go to jail. Only the bruiser don't want to be even identified with you fucking freaks. It sucked, really. It's fucking cuckoo. Turn it the fuck off. I can't take this shit, really.